Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, C. Raj Chawla, Vice Chairman MSME in the Startup Committee of ICI. A very warm welcome to all of you for today's webinar on value unlocking in startup and MSME. In today's rapidly evolving business environment, startup and micro, small, and medium enterprises stand as pillar of economic development, innovation, and job creation. Chartered accountant who plays a pivotal role in supporting these entities by providing strategies, financial guidance, competence, expertise, and advisory services crucial for their success. In this regard, we will be exploring various dimensions of value creation and unlocking in the startup and MSME ecosystem, from financial strategies to regulatory compliance, from technology innovation to access to finance. This webinar will offer insight, best practice, and practical guidance tailored to the unique challenges and opportunities faced by the entrepreneur and business world. As a member, we have a responsibility not only to our clients and employees, but also to society at large. By equipping ourselves with the knowledge and tools of effective support startup and MSME, we can contribute to economic development and sustainable future. I am sure that today's webinar will be a valuable learning experience for all the enabling us to enhance our competence for startup and MSME. For valuable insight into this subject, we are honored to have our speaker, CA Yogesh Birla ji. I welcome Yogesh ji and coordinator CA Manoj Lamba ji. I welcome Manoj ji, who will provide expert guidance on this topic. So, wish you a great learning to all members. Now over to CA Manoj Lamba ji.
Thank you, Raji. Good afternoon, everyone. I take this opportunity to introduce CA Yogesh Birla ji, speaker for today's webinar. He is a commerce graduate from Jai Narayan Vyas University. He is born in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. He passed CA as a rank holder. Due to his rank in CA, his first employment is in L&T, Larsen & Toubro. After that, he realized his true potential of his inner strategic skill and start his own advisory firm under the name Birla WP Management Company. He is providing strategic advisory, particularly in the field of project feasibility study, cost-effective project, techno-commercial management, business evaluation, etc. He is also associated with various social organizations. He is also regular speaker at various platforms. With this word, we are very keen to listen our learned speaker, Shri Yogesh Birla ji. I hope with his wisdom and with his knowledge and expertise, our all the viewers will definitely benefit it. With this word, I present before you CA Yogesh Birla ji.
Thank you, Lambaji. Thank you, Mr. Chawla. Talking about me is you are refreshing me from 1998 when alma mater and be a member of this ICI, and today I am adding value to my professional brothers. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Just a minute, I'll do little settings. I don't know why my video is not coming on the top. Technical team, why my video is not coming on the top? I don't know. It's proper?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
sir.
proper, sir. Please continue.
Okay. Thank you. So the topic today is very interesting. And before that, I would love to add value that MSME and startup, okay, more than a glamorous word, it is really a practically value-adding word in emerging India. Like there's a time elections are going on in the country, and we all are, keep on buzzing that इस चुनाव का मुद्दा क्या है, इंडियन इकोनॉमी का मुद्दा क्या है, ये मुद्दा है या नहीं है. So all these things, in all these things, one thing is common, which is economy, and economy is emerging economy. And again, in emerging economy, which is the segment of industry which is, really sitting on the forward-looking statement, that is MSME. And along with MSME, to encouraging the MSME in a new dynamics, broader vision, and with some new taste, that uh, startup, it looks like a glamorous word, a very spicy word and buzz of the town as on this date, that startup, I am doing a startup, like pass out CA says that instead of doing practice, I am doing my own startup. So a startup is such a tag that when you add it to your project, the project become fancy, and valuing that project in a different perspective, it's a really add-on advantage to it. So brothers, today I am going to present this topic, trying to add value to this topic in two different aspects. So I think merging of both the aspects and making a fusion out of it will be really value adding, like unlocking hidden value in MSME and startup. Few of the CAs are practicing CA, few are advisors, few are in their own business setup. So they can understand the theory according to their own, expectation. Like practicing people can learn the things the way they have to guide to the clients. Businessmen CAs can learn the things that they have to work on their projects accordingly, and they have to add to their own setups. So this is, I think, it will be compliant and it will be value added to all. So see, word chartered accountant, as I learned during my 3 years of my course, articles and everything, the chartered accountant, that we are a bit above the accountant, having broader and deeper responsibilities, and that's how we put CA before our name. But in corporate world and in the changing era, I just said one thing, that chartered accountant doesn't only mean the chartered accountant. We are the people, we have to drive ourselves from compliance to advisory. So how I take CA for this workshop is, C means compliance and A means advisory. So this is for all the practicing and advisory brothers, that chartered accountant or compliance to advisory, our shift is going to add value to us. That generally we are a compliance people, that we prepare computation, we file up ITR, balance sheet, P&L, all those things, and it is the GST return or all other returns. Okay, so these all are compliances. The value addition to the industry is not only through the compliances, but along with compliances, when you become a growth partner to your client, so there we need advisory. So I call it as CAS, compliance to advisory shifting. And this becomes the unlocking of a value of a chartered accountant. The topic here is unlocking the value of MSME and startup. But along before this, value unlocking for a CA is necessary, because that brings the real motivation, that why I should help others to unlock the value if my value is not getting unlocked. So we all are learned brothers here. I don't need to elaborate much on the MSME Act, or which are MSMEs, which are startups, what is the category, what is the turnover category for micro, small, medium. Okay, these are predefined things in our day-to-day working. So I should focus more on, after identifying MSME or startup, how a chartered accountant can help to unlock the value for the clients. Like generally it has been seen that in our field, in the advisory field or in the practice field, we concentrate ourselves to financial documents, that whatever client is doing, we are just vouching those things, we are auditing those things, and then we are preparing financial statements. And clients thought process is that CA means he has to do compliances for us. I practically, in my professional era, felt this thing, that until unless I add real value to the business, neither I will be satisfied, nor I will be paid according to my, strategic wisdom, nor I'll be able to do justice to my client. And on the top of that thing, I am not going to add any value to my country's GDP if I'm not adding value to my clients other than compliances. So, and why it is necessary in Indian context is that MSME, it is contributing 45% of industrial employment. This is such a big chunk. It is contributing 49% of India's exports. Generally, we never, face this truth that 49% of India's exports are through MSME channel only. And out of total number of units, 94% industrial units are MSME in India. Icing on the cake is we cannot guess that how many products are being manufactured by MSME. And you will be wonder to know 6,179 diverse kind of product range is being manufactured and supplied by MSMEs to other industries. So, like we take a simple example, whether it is a Maruti car or it is a Tata car. So, a car is comprising of more than 7,800 type of small products or big products. So, a car comprising of 7,000 products may be comprising of 7,000 vendors, 700 vendors. So that way, 7,000 diverse kind of products are manufactured in the top line MSMEs, and all this uh, putting all these flowers in a basket, it becomes a big scope for chartered accountants as a more than compliance to the advisors. Generally, a debate is going on that every CA brother, every professional practitioner, they are just raising their hands and raising all the voices to get the audits of big industries, audits of listed entities, audits of banks, and all these things. But considering these numbers, I say that adding value to MSME is really the route that how to unlock the value. Unlocking value is very easy. Once you add value and once you prepare your client according to that. So in that thing, if I say that which are the areas you can really add value before unlocking value or to prepare the unlocking value of the MSME and startup, which are the areas? Generally, you see so many subsidies, so many government schemes, so many duties, waivers, levies, and these are available for all the MSME units. And I don't know how many people are aware because we all see this as a professional angle only. That if you are working for releasing of the subsidy means okay, the little fees are there, and you are working for tax exemption, okay, little earning on the fees is there. But eliminating these things out of your practices, like you are eliminating the real destination where using all those things you can unlock the value from the MSME or the startups. So I'll say the first step is duty, levy, taxes, and subsidy waivers. This should be properly guided to the clients, and we should be known to those things. Second is many schemes they are providing collateral-free bank loans. We should keep on guiding to clients, irrespective of expectation of our fees. Generally, it happens when we become a chartered accountant, and top of that, we are practitioner. We keep on making vouching for each and every advice we are giving. At the same time, are we generating revenue for that advice or not? When we are adding value to the client, we keep on vouching ourselves that I'm adding value to his business. In turn, what he is giving me as a fees, he's not making me a timely payment of the fees and all those things. But my thing is, when you have knowledge, you keep on spreading it, you keep on adding that knowledge to clients bouquet, and out of 100 clients, even if 10 recognizes these things, you become the promoter strategic advisor to those 10 businesses. And out of those 10 businesses, even if one become a unicorn, two become good private equity players. So that kind of satisfaction you can never get by losing the value of your advices that I am not getting proper fee, why I should keep guiding my clients? Because this is my theory. It may not be, if voted, this may not be a theory of majority of chartered accountants. But yes, I keep on sharing the value. I keep on sharing the knowledge, irrespective of what I'm in turn, what I'm expecting or what I'm getting. So third thing comes is the reserved procurement policy. In the larger industries, we see that there are some quota, some percentage is fixed that you have to procure this through MSME channel only. Then in government tenders, we have 15% price benefits to MSMEs. In like again in government tenders, earnest money deposit (EMDs), there are many EMD waiver benefits are available. Okay. Then next comes to the delayed payment protections, that if any supplies are done by use, chows are creating after that MSME 45 days and all these things. Now people are aware about it. So any delay payment protection kind of advice we should give to our clients very much in advance. Then the next big benefit is international trade seminars, international fairs. These are being organized across the world, and you will be wondered to know that most of these fairs are participants. MSMEs are encouraged by government by providing international fair subsidies, international trade fair, even air ticket of the attending a fair in Germany or in Nigeria, it is being subsidized or it is being financed by the government. Not many of the practitioners, many of the advisors are guiding it to the clients that they can take this benefit, they can raise their boundaries, they can expand their working horizons, and they can be exporter along with the domestic people. Next is another good thing is why I'm sharing that topic is unlocking. But before unlocking, we have to get prepared. That unlocking is the fruit, and these things are the root. That if we prepare root well, we can just reap the fruit. So I'm making all those things that how to start from basics. So next comes as barcode registration subsidy. When you raise a barcode, you design your barcode, registering the barcode, and you can get a subsidy. Patent and trademark registration subsidies. Then National Small Industry Center (NSIC) performance and credit rating subsidy. When you get yourself credit rated for ratings get done, you can get the subsidies. The next thing is ISO certification benefits. Getting an ISO certificate is a tedious and a costly process, but we are getting subsidies for that ISO working. In any intellectual rights or copyright or patents or international patents, so patent registration subsidy is 50%. So these are a few things which are required to be advised to our clients at very beginning, at the initial stage, and keep on advising those things. That makes the survival of MSME or startups in a good pace, because this is not a listed company, this is not a big corporate which is having some extra capital, which is having extra manpower, which is having extra control over the resources, because this is working on a very limited capital, very limited resources, and very wider horizon they have. They should know in advance all the mechanisms that root to fruit, how they have to grow. So these are a few of the schemes which are available. We should keep guiding to the clients, and in turn, you will see that your yearly fees or your compliance fees, those are getting nice hikes by the client when he feel that due to my CA, due to my compliance person, I got a subsidy in the patent like 1 lakh or 5 lakh. I got the subsidy. I got a free participation in international trade fair. For us, this is just a sharing knowledge, and when we have knowledge, sharing it to one client or 100 client at a glance, it takes the same time, same WhatsApp forward, same WhatsApp broadcast, or in our client meeting, it is the same sharing, but it can benefit out of 100, it can benefit to 50, it can benefit to 20 clients. At least for those 20 clients, we are getting an inherent growth in the fees. So these are two different angles that before getting, or sorry, not getting, before expecting a professional revenue hike, we should start giving something which is not pre-assumed or predetermined with what in turn we are going to get. So summarizing these things, I generally say that educate and analyze the clients. This is must, which is generally absent from total practice areas, that we don't want to educate them. We don't want to analyze their businesses. We are just sitting on, our segment of doing the regulatory work. One big area is that when these smaller businesses are working, they are not very much compliant. They are not very much regulated. They are not very much, aware about what kind of reporting they have to their bankers. So we should keep analyzing those things, that negative impact on their credit scores, a very big thing. Maintaining their CIBIL, a very big thing. It looks small, that why I should be worried about the CIBIL of my client when he's my compliance client only. But if I'm on the place, I'll say that a compliance client will remain with me if he remain alive. If he is not compliant on his CIBIL, if he is not compliant on his credit scores, and the day comes that he become NPA or he become defaulter with the bank, neither client remains, not his nor his business remains. So when both are not there, I'm going to lose the client and the revenue. So it is my basic duty to keep on guiding them towards the negative impact on their credit scores. One more thing, regular business flows and things are okay, but if business is not very good, COVID type of situations are there, when liquidity is totally trapped, clients' working capital is totally, trapped, and things like that, then our aspect to helping clients should be coordinate and resolve. We should restructure, we should resolve their credit issues, we should resolve their debtorship issues, that they have to recover some payments from the market. When they come to us that my debtors are too high, we just say that, oh, lower your debtors, otherwise I have to report adversely. I have to report adversely on your quick ratio, your current ratio, your banking CMA forms, and all those things. So it is very easy to say the diseases, but it is very difficult to provide medicine for those diseases, and we should become a problem solver rather than the problem dictator. One important thing what we generally do is we keep making a customized growth plan for each and every client, whether it is in our mandate of professional services or it is not. But as an entrepreneur, it is my hobby. Like in my company name is Birla WP Management, Birla Work and Process Management. Why I kept this name, why I chosen this aspect to grow and got enormous results since last 25 years of my advisory boutique firm, that even if someone doesn't expect, but when we are sitting with 500 different kind of businesses, we keep gearing ourselves in a top gear by getting additional knowledge of one more business. Like a new client is coming, we are dealing with some textile clients, a new client software technology came, so we get knowledge of that business. Uh, Next time NBFC is coming, we are getting knowledge of that business. So we keep on accumulating knowledge and sharing that knowledge to the client. Neither it is our professional duty nor it is our moral duty, but it should be our growth plan. That if I have to do something different, which all others are not doing, then only I'll get something different, which others are not getting. If I have to get a dollar extra, I have to walk a mile extra. So it is all what you want to give and what you want to give. Generally, after being a chartered accountant, we try to assess what we are going to get, and then only we provide. But at times, we should forget that we are chartered accountants and we are made to just a number crunching kind of environment. Rather, become an entrepreneur, become a human being. That first try to give. Definitely, you are destined to get more than what you have given. So I chosen the other route, that even if my client is not asking, but I keep on guiding him on those areas where I have a customized growth plan ready for him. So after having this macro and micro discussion over what a practitioner should do to prepare his client for value unlocking is uh, compliance provider versus growth advisor. What a chartered accountant should be. Like earlier, we thought that chartered accountant, we are compliance people, and along with the compliance provider, we became a growth advisor. So, what we are getting by this growth advisory and creating value for them? Number one is our continuous revenue from different verticals. Along with our auditing, along with the statutory services, along with the compliance services, we are going to get an assured revenue. If the business of my client is working well, definitely I'll be paid well. Second, better knowledge mix. More the balance sheets or more the P&Ls you go through, and at the same time, more the business formats or business meetings you do with the clients, these are adding better knowledge mix to you. That more than the numbers, you are aware about the business strategies. So, learning from a client, adding your professional value and guiding to the next client. So we become like knowledge manufacturing company. Yes, we are. That a new client is coming, he is teaching us a new line of business. We are adding our professional acumen, we are adding our intellectual property into it, and now we are ready to guide to a set of clients of the same business line. Third is inherent growth in the fees. Fourth is client stability. Generally, a comparison, apple to apple comparison is there when you say I'll charge audit fees of 1 lakh rupee. Client says, oh, that guy is charging only 50,000. Why should I pay 1 lakh rupee just for your audits? Okay. So it is apple to apple comparison. Right. So he's having this choice. Okay, 1 year he can tolerate, 2 year he can tolerate, but in longer duration, if you are charging something more than market, it is open market kind of thing. He will go to another CA, another practitioner, another compliance person, and fees will come on the market parity. He has to pay the market parity only, and in turn you are losing a client. So how this and rider, walking an extra mile brings client stability is client is always having a calculation at the back of the mind that what my CA is doing to me is just compliance. Or along with compliance, he is keeping a third eyes watch, a third empire's kind of watch on my business. I didn't tell him that you be a third empire for me. You keep a remote watch for on me. You keep a virtual watch on my business working. But still, he is doing it, and at timely he is guiding me on what wrongdoings are there, what are the limitations we have, which boundaries we have to break, which new areas we should go, which new processes we should evolve. So all these things, when we are guiding, a client is, really feeling a value inside him or her, and time comes when that client becomes your permanent client. He is not in a position to move his file or his assignment from you to any other CA, because along with his compliance advisor, you have become his growth partner. Last and the most important things out of this, it brings real dynamics in our professional working is word of mouth goodwill, what we are creating. You assume like you're sitting in a club in somewhere in Mumbai, like I am sitting in Mumbai right now. So in the evening, if we are sitting in a club, someone just recognizes, oh, Mr. Birla, Yogesh Birla. Yes. Okay, I don't know you. Okay, you don't know me, but your client XYZ, he was just referring that my advisor is fantastic. From the day I formed up my company, I just have to do my business, and he has to guide me, he has to handhold me, he has to mentor me in all aspects, whether it is legal or logical, all the aspects of the things, he is taking care of me. So this is bringing word of mouth goodwill for me, and in turn that guy is offering in a club, that, sir, I want to meet you. Okay, what is the agenda? I said that I am in the almost same format of the business what he is, and I also need your hand holding. That if you accept. So, who brought this business for me? Who brought this assignment for me? The better working for that client brings me another client. Because as a CA, we cannot advertise our services, we cannot make some good marketing, we cannot do sales promotion, we cannot go ahead hunting the clients. So, this is our, again, our inbuilt knowledge strength that we invest that knowledge on a particular client. In turn, he becomes our word of mouth goodwill person, which keep on spreading the fragrances. So these are basics we should prepare before we understand the value unlocking in a larger horizon, that professionally what we have to invest before we get we keep on expecting value unlocking for the client. I'm audible to everybody. If someone raise a voice, I'll be confident.
Yes, sir, perfectly audible.
Okay, thank you. So now coming to the second part of our discussion or the knowledge sharing is that till the time we got prepared as a chartered accountant to as a growth advisor or a growth partner kind of thing. Now, when you became a growth partner, it is your prime responsibility that when someone trusted you, someone is reliant on you, someone thought you are more than a compliant kind of personality, how to unlock the value. Unlocking value in our sense, if I say in my 25 years of experience, people are coming to Mumbai in my office with their balance sheets, whether SMEs, MSMEs, or those kind of format, that, sir, I want to go for an IPO. Okay, it's okay. We get you listed in SME exchange or BSE or NSE. Or, sir, I want some private equity. Okay, we get. But are this the only value unlocking? Or there are real value unlocking mechanism or aspects imbibed in your business practices? Yes, those are. So in this, we have to discuss this five, six things. First is, we should take one example that one of my client, he was basically a very good seller of shirts on those e-commerce website. We call it Flipkart or Amazon, whatever it is. So neither I'm sharing the name nor the real numbers. This is just for our learning purpose. We are sharing the example. I was going in a flight, and that guy was traveling with me from Mumbai to Tiruchi. Sorry, Kochi. He was Keralite. And we were just discussing what you do. It happens when you are sitting in a flight, you don't have any other business than to chatting to raising a talk to your co-passenger. And as a CA, we keep on raising the things. So I just what do you do? Because sir, I am a seller of shirts on Amazon. Okay, you sell, you manufacture. Yes, sir, I manufacture and then I sell. Okay, what is your brand? The brand is not keeping any value, sir. But okay, what is your size? How many shirts you sell a day? Okay, around 700 shirts I'm selling daily on the Amazon and Flipkart. It's okay, decent number. 700 shirts multiplying by the number of, sorry, the price, it becomes a decent annual turnover. See that 1 hour and 40 minutes of the journey and 1 hour of this knowledgeable talk brought me another client, and I should say brought me another listed entity in next 4 years. How it turned up. And after discussing this, a practical story, I'll go with those theoretical format that how we should do it. Okay, we came to Kochi. He said that okay, we are exchanging our cards, and he will meet me again. Next time he came to me in Mumbai, in my office, and with a predetermined agenda, sir, I want to grow my business the way you were discussing that day. Okay, so this was my marketing. Now marketing got matured. I am about to get one more client. So he came to me, sir, I'm doing this thing. Now, what should be my real, attitude or aptitude as a professional? That first you hand over your file to me. I'll start filing your return. I'll preparing your balance sheet, and but I don't do all those things. I said, who's your CA? Okay, he's somewhere there in Kochi. Oh my God, wonderful. Sir, should I change my CA from Kochi to Mumbai? Should I bring all the files to you? Make it no, never. Your compliance person, your chartered accountant should remain like what he was. I should keep on adding value to him through you. Okay. So never change. I never change auditors. I never change the tax practitioners. I never change in my business formats. I just be an advisor for the growth plan. I never juggle into changing and shifting the wicket keepers. Okay. So we were just discussing, okay, I'm manufacturing the shirts. Okay. I thought I should visit your factory. We went to visit his factory in Kochi. He was having a manufacturing setup and all those things. So to cut the long journey short, I advised him that how many hours in a day you work for this selling. So I work 3 to 4 hours in online selling, creating marketplace, taking new pics, uploading new design of shirts. Okay, why only 4 hours? Don't you invest? Why don't you invest 10 hours? No, sir, I can't do that thing because I have to keep a watch on procurement. I have to keep a watch on manufacturing. At okay, here comes the first disease. I pointed him that why you are doing manufacturing? Why don't you delegate manufacturing or you outsource the manufacturing? So outsourcing means it will, increase the cost. Then I made a diagram for him that what is the cost of, shirt. It is around 300. Out of that, 210 is cost of clothes and accessories or whatever, and 90 rupees is what is this official cost, like factory cost or manufacturing cost. So we said that if we get it stitched outside, how much will be? So 68 rupee per shirt. So directly we are saying, saving 22 rupee per shirt. And not only this is not only financial saving, this is a saving, a time saving for him, that now he doesn't need to involve 6 to 7 hours in a day just on the procurement, factory management, or the bijli ka bill bhara ya nahi bhara, PF, ESI bhara ya nahi bhara, yeah, all those things. So till the time he was devoting 4 hours on marketing, and now he can devote 8 hours in the marketing. So production being, outsourced, contract manufacturing getting done. When you outsource something, you can reaffirm one thing, that just keep your people there for packing and checking. Okay. When you are there as an auditor in that factory, means your packer and checkers are there, they remain careful, because when your daily sale is 700 shirt, which is going to grow to 2000 shirts, you involve more time on the marketing and all those things. So you become a person. So down the line, 3 years, that guy became a company, a manufacturer and seller of 6,000 shirts online as well as offline on other channels and everything. Then we took him to a private equity player. In the Series A, we onboarded some anchor investor, and then we became a P company. P company came, they show him the, okay, you are such a cost-effective shirt manufacturer. Why don't we create a brand? We created a brand, a good logo, and like the things already were created, but not penetrated, not had a brand equity that way. So as an growth advisor, we opened 11 stores, pan South and Central India. Just a small shop of 10 feet by 20 feet in his own brand name, in his shirts brand name. So we became a retail chain along with the manufacturing. See, the story starts from he was manufacturing and selling shirts online. Then he became only seller, not manufacturer. Manufacturing is outsourced. Then he became a brand owner, and now comes the right time that private equity people says that we have to, as per our agreement, we have to exit in 4 years. This is the fourth year. What is the plan? So an IPO was planned, and we took a decent as exit. See how small was the business: 700 shirts daily to, as on this date, 11,000 shirts daily with brand value, with exit of private equity, and that through a listed periphery, a listed company. So this journey looks, very hypothetical, but we keep on doing it on, every quarter we keep on doing one journey like this. So that I always love to share to all my professional brothers, that forward or backward integration is the first key of value unlocking. Whether your product is whatever X product you have, engineering or a textile or an automation company or a software company or an entertainment channel or an NBFC or a peer-to-peer finance company or a credit company, or you are marketing for anyone else, you are a YouTuber, you are an AdWord selling, different formats are there, but every format there exists one opportunity of forward or backward integration. So first value unlocking is forward or backward integration of that company, like we did from manufacturing to marketing company, that was backward integration, and creating a brand was forward integration. And next becomes that when you do this backward or forward steps, either you reduce your cost or you increase your market. And at the same time, we are inbuilt with our financial wizard. We just, rotate capital well. That when you are in manufacturing, like in that shirt manufacturing company, what I was sharing is when in manufacturing, we were doing only 4 cycles in a year, working capital cycles. When you are in outsourcing, you can do a minimum of 8 cycles in a year. So directly your working capital efficiency is doubled. Your EBITDA and PAT, it will get a superb upside hit. And this is what is required to go in that unlocking channel of private equity or listed periphery or anchor investor or selling your business and brand. This is one thing, forward or backward integration. Second is allied industry unlocking. How unlocking through allied industry is? We comes to one thing that you must be about some one of the big pan masala chain, right? That is there in India. Along with pan masala, they were using that packaging material. So packaging film और we call the pouches, multi-layer plastic pouches, जिनसे कि पान मसाला का pouch बनता है. So when you are working for that industry, and that industry is that pan masala industry, it brings use cash generation, use cash inflows. So you can just suggest this kind of capex projects. That sir, to unlock the value of your business from working capital angle or for future perspective, you should go in the industry which provide you good depreciation. So when you set up a packaging industry, that is number one, allied industry to him. Number two, that investment is going to garner higher depreciation. In turn, it is saving cost, taxation cost in his existing businesses, generating more cash. Third, he become reliant. He become very reliable manufacturer of pan masala and those mouth freshener and everything. If he's having good control over the designing and manufacturing of his own packaging material, because supplying and logistics of this packaging material to this FMCG company is a very difficult task. A simple mistake in the printing or a single day's delay in the cycle, it brings a huge cost on the FMCG company, because product is, if it is very perishable product, they lose on the product. If it is a marketable product, not perishable, so it becomes a delayed delivery to their distributors and everything. So many aspects are there to consider this thing, but we call it that if any opportunity is there for allied industry kind of thing, we should go for this thing. Third is buying and selling of the businesses. That is again a value unlocking. Generally, in Indian ownership patterns, owners or business owners in MSME format at least, they are very reluctant to share the decision making chair. That we will not allow anyone to take decisions for our business. We are happy. Like if we are having a turnover at 25 crore, we are happy. We were decently, we are generating 10% EBITDA and 5% PAT. We are okay, very good. But at the same time, when you see that a business which is not having a brand, like we call Dabur as a brand, and another business which is which is manufacturing and selling some digestive tablets, it is selling to which companies? It is selling to some different local players. So when we say no, Dabur is ready to buy your company as a whole, this is no, no, no. We are not ready to share it. We don't want to sell the business. Okay, you don't want to sell the business. Then how to unlock the value out of it? That we value your goodwill. Just give some equity to those company, like give some equity to Dabur or to that brand, which really add on value to you. before this branding, you were selling a box or a bottle of that tablet in like say 80 rupees. After putting a good brand, you are about to sell in 150 rupees. Additional 70 rupee what you are getting, it is just, just by branding, just by a single advice if you give to your client and you make it happen. सिर्फ सलाह देने से काम नहीं चलेगा, उसको करवाना भी पड़ेगा। अदरवाइज क्लाइंट ये कहेगा सर बोलते तो आप बहुत कुछ हो, पर हम करें कैसे? हमें तो जो आता है उतना ही आता है, उसके आगे तो यू आर आवर गाइड। Since I keep on doing many MOUs like this, I always try to share them that once you become compliant, अभी पहले मैंने जो सारी बात आपको बताई, that to prepare a good ground to value unlocking is must. उनको क्लाइंट्स को अच्छा डॉक्यूमेंटेड करो, अच्छा कंप्लाइंट करो, उनकी वर्किंग कैपिटल स्ट्रीमलाइन करो, प्रोमोटर्स और ऑनर्स जो भी उनके हैं, उनको उस प्रोफेशनल सेटअप पे लाओ कि दे कीप ऑन डेलीगेटिंग द अथॉरिटी, दे कीप ऑन शेयरिंग द डिसीजन मेकिंग चेयर, they keep on getting habitual of your interference in their company, so the day they start digesting their advisors interruption in their decision making process, the next day they will start accepting the private equity funders or any others interruption or any others board sharing, chair sharing in the board. So these are very basic things we should do. Looks basic, but this becomes a critical if not done on a particular time. The next is what I see is techno commercial efficiency, which generally is missing in our part. We are very good vouching people, we are very good auditing people, we are again very good working capital management people. Then next again we are very good low interest funds management people, कि आपका अभी 10% में फंडिंग हो रहा है, 8 में करवाएगा, आपका वर्किंग कैपिटल साइकिल 4 चल रहा है, हम उसको 6 करवाएगा. So that all you can do, but this is not the only business. This is not the only thing which is booming or grooming the business. अभी टाइम तो सॉफ्टवेयर से हटके हार्डवेयर से हटके एआई वाला टाइम आ चुका है. Until unless we are having that knowledge that how his business can go from fifth gear to sixth gear by evolving or adapting this new technology, it can bring some techno commercial efficiency, it can enhance the productivity. All these knowledges are required within us, and we should also break those boundaries if we have to become advisor from the practitioner, right? We should keep on learning all those things. I am talking today means I have learned, I have practically did it, and then only I am able to share it to you with so much of the confidence and with the practical backends in my product, my clients and my projects. The next one comes is expansion. We guide our clients in the expansion is only in the one angle, and then in the second angle. First is what subsidies we are going to get for him for the expansion. Second is how the funding of the expansion will be done. We have basic these two interests. In subsidy, we are going to earn our fees. In funding, we are going to earn earning a fee for one assignment. Why don't we become his vertical or horizontal expansion partner? Partner, not in the sense business partner. Partner means intellectual partner. And we keep on earning every year. This means that a platform is working well, a factory is working well, our trading concern is working well. Now we have to identify is it a vertical expansion is required or horizontal expansion is required, right? Vertical expansion, what I say is adding value to a product. A person is manufacturing rubber. From there we devise him that okay, you can also manufacture tire. If it is tire, we can also ask him that you can export this tire out of India to Vietnam, to Africa, all those countries where developed countries are not there, those products are not there. This is a vertical expansion. Horizontal is keep on adding capacities, keep on adding product lines similar to you or compensating to you as a raw material supplier. So vertical or horizontal expansions every year. A roadmap, as I told you, the growth plan should be in my mind for my client without getting any fee. Because when you take a file, when you take a client, you have to think for next 5 to 10 years that ये अभी यहाँ से चालू हुआ है, ये कहाँ तक पहुंचेगा, और वो जो रोड मैप उसका बनाते हो ना, उसके साथ आपका खुद का रोड मैप भी बन जाता है कि मेरी फीस भी आज यहाँ से चालू हुई है, डाउन द लाइन 10 years मेरा कैश फ्लो भी वहां तक पहुंचेगा. बट दिस इज एन एग एंड hen स्टोरी, कि पहले मुर्गी आई या पहले अंडा, पहले क्लाइंट फीस दे या पहले मैं उसको वैल्यू ऐड करूं. हमेशा यही चीज चलता रहता है. तो ट्राई टू ऐड वैल्यू फर्स्ट. एंड लास्ट थिंग टू मेक अ परफेक्ट रूट इज, अभी के टाइम में हर चीज डिजिटल हो रहा है. Okay, whether it is accounting, whether it is finance, whether it is logistics, whether it is manufacturing, whether it is selling, whether it is product appealing, whether it is, feedback, everything is getting digital. So try to equip you, your team, your firm, or your working team very much digitally. And along with it, try to, keep on adding value to the client digitally. Means if someone is, an offline kind of industry, it may be food industry. We could take an example of a very simple restaurant. It's a good restaurant in Mumbai which is having a brand equity of last 30 years, that we make best biryani, we make best vada pav, whatever it is. And with my digital knowledge, I add on value to the client that okay, if I have to eat vada pav, I have to come to you, right? Yes sir, आपको मेरा दुकान तो आना ही पड़ेगा, मेरा वड़ा पाव खाना है. तो that is an, imbibe kind of thing which these restaurant owners or the food giants they are having. उनको ये गुडविल लगता है अपना, कि किसी को भी मेरे यहाँ पे आना है, मतलब वड़ा पाव खाना है तो मेरे यहाँ आना पड़ेगा. बड़ा गुडविल और एटीट्यूड फील होता है उनको. आई जस्ट से दैट अभी तक तो ये सिस्टम था दैट पीपल यूज टू कम टू वड़ा पाव. नाउ द सिस्टम इज वड़ा पाव शुड गो टू द पीपल. So people used to come to vada pav means they were paying like 10 rupee for or 20 rupee for the vada pav. If vada pav goes to them, you can charge 25 rupees. Number one. Number two, you are breaking your geographical boundary. Number three, you are creating a brand. अभी ब्रांड क्या है कि उस शॉप पे जाना है. अभी पूरे मुंबई में मैं कहीं पे भी हूँ, मुझे वो वड़ा पाव खाना है. लाइक जम्बो किंग वड़ा पाव, दे ओपन 45 outlets 10 years back. So some person thought this, that breaking the geographical boundaries, making a brand, and then they become an listed company. They came up with IPO. They are now doing wonderfully well in that segment. So adding digital value to your client is must, is essence of this time. So fit it in your mind 100%, that try to add soft skill value to your hard product client. That is must. So adding value in these mechanisms brings a real strength, that how to unlock the real value. अभी हम बेसिकली प्रोडक्ट का तैयार कर रहे हैं. लाइक अ प्रोडक्ट कंपनी, आई एम प्रिपेयरिंग दिस सेशन, दैट आई एम ब्रिंगिंग यू on that stage where you can just unlock the value and you can reap the fruits what you have created for. Otherwise people will just say कि हमने इतना सारा तैयारी कर लिया पर अभी तक तो हमें ये पता नहीं पड़ा कि हाउ टू अनलॉक द वैल्यू. सो दीज वर द प्रोसेसेस व्हिच आर नेसेसरी एंड व्हिच आर टू बी डन टू रियली अनलॉक द वैल्यू. व्हाट इज अनलॉकिंग वैल्यू in a layman's thing? देर इज सम, मतलब वो दादाजी ने कहीं पे एक संदूक में कुछ पैसा वैसा डाल के, सोने के सिक्के डाल के बंद करके रखा है. वो कहीं पे पड़ा है और हमें एक मैप मिल गया कि उस मैप से उस ट्रेजर तक पहुंचना है. सो इट्स अ ट्रेजर हंट काइंड ऑफ थिंग. So the same thing applies in this session, that there is a sanduk which is kept with golden coins. It is hidden somewhere and you have prepared your road map. अभी तक का जो पिछले 1 घंटे में आपने बात किया है, so we have prepared a road map that how to reach to that treasure. And after reaching to the treasure, there are three things. कि वो संदूक को वहीं पे रखें, सोने के सिक्के निकाल के लेके आ जाए, या संदूक को पूरा अपने कंधे पर डाल के हम बाहर लेके आ जाएं, या हम एक दूसरा छोटा छोटा 5 संदूक ले जाएं, उस संदूक में से सिक्के निकाल के उस 5 संदूक में अलग अलग भरें और उनको वापस कहीं पे अलग अलग ले जाएं. तो मैंने इस स्टोरी में आपको 3 तरह की वैल्यू अनलॉकिंग बता दी है. वन इज selling your businesses to the equity partner. Second is private equity kind of divestment. Third is listing. So these are three value unlocking parameters and value unlocking measures available in emerging India. Why these are taking shape in such a wider horizon and with such a fantastic speed since last 5 years. Again, not doing any party politics. We just say again, thanks to the government, they are working for betterment of our economy. They have opened wider doors with boosted confidence. See, I keep on dealing with my foreign investors. We are on the panel with good overseas funds. Since last 22 years of my experience, what I saw in last 5 years, I didn't envisage in last 17 years, because there was one thing missing out of everything else, that was political stability. When a foreign investor comes in India, they see, okay, country is good. They are sitting on a biggest consumer base. They are sitting on one of the biggest natural resources. They are sitting on one of the good and finest, working skilled or unskilled labor. They are sitting on all climatic geography. Like we have snow, we have beaches, we have hot, we have cold everywhere in India in different dynamics. So everything else was there. But one thing lacking was political stability. And political stability doesn't mean only that a single party's government should be there for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. No, it's not that way. Don't take it that way. Political stability means whenever they are bringing funds, they should be confident that those critical policies at the entry time will not be drastically changed during their exit time. You got my point? That when someone is bringing the fund on the terms and conditions, that fund to exit from there, this approximately same terms or conditions should prevail. Secondly, the compliance in India should be very, very, compliance and due diligence in India should be very, very transparent. You see a value of business, like in book, the turnover is 100 crore and the real turnover is 500 crore. You can understand those 400 crores, how it is managed by which kind of professional brothers. Okay. We don't need to explain anything out of that. But that percentage is coming down after those regulatory changes, after the new tax regime, after new indirect tax regime. Okay. So those things are bringing a political financial stability when funds are being invited from overseas to invest in India. Now, sitting in Mumbai, people come to me, those overseas people come to me. Earlier, they used to come like Mr. Birla. This year, we have to deploy 1,000 crores in India. In there's three industry segments, like one in automation, second in education, ed tech, and third is maybe in microfinancing. Okay. So I used to, okay, so take equity in this big company, this big company, this big company. Now market capitalization of 2 lakh crore company has become 15 lakh crore company. By the 1,000 crore, they cannot buy a 0.001% equity in that company. So what they are coming with the mandate is, Mr. Birla, we want to invest in mid-segment companies which have potential of multi-x value unlocking. Even they identified that now India has become a regulated country. They have come on a good tax regime. You just click on a GST number and you can get the real numbers where they are playing. You can get the real working capital measures. You can get the real taxation measures, that what earlier was hidden, it has now come uh, on a very fair ground. So that kind of investment mechanism, that kind of reliable investing mechanism has brought up this new opportunity that you must be witnessing. Like we all are chartered accountants. Out of all, maybe all or most of us are regularly updating ourselves in the stock market, right? When we are in a stock market, we are investing as well as we are applying in IPOs of the company, whether it is IPO of main board or it is IPO of SME companies. You must be witnessing that last 5 years, or I can say that in 2016 we started doing SME listing. So 2016 to 2024, 8 years journey, and out of those 4 years were super duper hit. So many SMEs got listed. Out of that, so many SMEs got listed after 2 years or 3 years of their compliant working. They've been switched over to main board. Now they are on NSE and BSE. So value unlocking of an of a startup or MSME industry in a listing way or in a non-listing way. So first we discuss a non-listing way. Non-listing way means you got some private equity partner for this company, this MSME. They buy some equity, they be with them. They don't only fund you, they fund along with the fund. They give you the network, they give you the knowledge. That one of my eye surgical clinics. They got expanded in Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and all those things just by their network. They were a brand in India, but they got same brand parity overseas. So these are the benefits of being unlocked through a private equity player. Then next comes is hello. The next comes is value unlocking through selling of the businesses to the bigger brands. In turn, you remain owner of the businesses, but to the part like a core function like manufacturing or a particular function is being managed by you, marketing is being done by them. In a reverse position, in a vice versa position, marketing may be done by you, manufacturing may be done by them. So this is the business alliance kind of value unlocking. And third value unlocking, that after any value unlocking, the real unlocking will come when business become the larger format investors base, means it comes in the listed periphery. So it comes in the SME listing kind of thing or the main board listing kind of thing, where you get the real value partners. That what was the benefit of you're preparing all those mechanisms you're bringing at this stage and taking it to the next stage. Once you come in the listed periphery after value unlocking, that we take an example that one business, it was having you can say like sale of 25 crore and PAT of 5%, like 1.25 crore. So after all this vertical, horizontal integrations, automation, new documentation, due diligence, process automation, everything. Now the turnover sits at 100 crore, maybe just fourfold, but PAT increased to 10%. So what is your value unlocking? It is just not four times, 25 crore to 100 crore. Value unlocking is always at the bottom line, not at the top line. Top line you just multiply by the four, but at the bottom line efficiencies, the automation, the digital working, the brand equity, the lower cost of capital, all brought your PAT from 1.25 crore to 10 crore. So it becomes 8 time value unlocking. Generally the misconception is that value unlocking is only through the top line, that okay, my sale was 25 crore, now it is 100 crore, I did and they never concentrate on the profits, that what was my net profit and what is my net profit. Just increasing value on the top line doesn't mean that you unlock the value, because when you go to any equity player or when you go to the listed periphery, your net profit multiples you are going to get, whether when we call it a P multiple or value to the book or EPS, all those are going to be considered. Your sale, your share capital or your turnover, it is not going to be, given value over there. So these are all the basics how we should grow, and each and every aspect of what I have discussed is a very detailed aspect. I could share just with my 22 years of professional experience and in turn total 25 years of post CA experience, that we have dealt with more than 232 clients, pan India, Asia, Africa. And that is why we are, in par, we are saying that right now India is an emerging economy. It is sitting at par with all those developed economies. We are documentation wise and compliance wise, we are more or less at par with any developed economy. And adding on with this political stability, everyone in the world, every another developing economy, every other country, every country which is financially rich or technically rich, they want to collaborate in India, they want to invest in India, they want to invest the technology with Indian partners. And that's why stock prices of those companies which are having foreign technological collaborations are increasing like anything, because consumer is there, raw material is there, abundance of natural resources are there. What else you need is just a smooth lining of processes. Second, the reliability in documentation and policies. And third, all this brings political working stability. So with this, I just finished my first phase. Lamaji, any questions on it? Hello,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lamba, I just finished my first phase and
Okay.
elaborated the things. Any question answers on this thing?
Sir, we will take the question at the end only.
At the end only.
Yeah.
Okay. So out of the audience, if like which aspect to be elaborated more, I would love to know that I would discuss so many things. Which aspect is, more deeper knowledge is required?
Sir, I am listening to you. As far as my issue is concerned, I require knowledge on SME IPO.
Okay. Lamaji, basically SME IPO thing, it was started since new regime in 2014.
Yeah.
Earlier, only Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange, two exchanges were there, and they were allowing only bigger corporates to get listed and take the benefit of listing.
Okay.
So, benefit of listing was not only, making status or getting your shares profitable in the market. Along with it, basically, it is value unlocking mechanism. The topic of today is the real topic of Government of India when in 2014 they start working on this thing. That जो बड़े corporates हैं उनकी वैल्यू अनलॉकिंग तो उनके पास बहुत सारी प्रोफेशनल ट्रेजर्स है उससे वो कर लेते हैं बट छोटी इंडस्ट्रीज का कोई भी गॉडफादर नहीं होता है.
जी.
For them, they started this regime, SME listing, small and micro industry enterprise exchange, SME exchange kind of format they prepared. So mother exchange is BSE or NSE. Down the line, they have SME BSE and SME NSE. And compliance out there is were very simple that you just have to file a DRHP which is being vetted by the exchange, and in turn you are getting permission to float your public issue. And requirements were not too much that you should be profitable, you should not be more than limits are being getting changed every here and there. So you should be a manufacturing company, you should be a profitable company, you should not have any non-compliant issues, and you should be the most important thing is you should be ready to dilute minimum 25% of the share capital.
Okay.
Okay, so after diluting this 25% of share capital to the anchor investor, then to the institutional investor, then to the retail investors, promoters remain in control with 75% of the working capital. They have to give a forward vision looking statement to the investors that why they need these proceeds, whether it is to fund their working capital gap, whether it is to expand the capacity, whether it is to fund the brand penetration or whatever the objects of issue. So, an advisor's responsibility, a chartered accountant's responsibility in this thing is they have to comply with SEBI and exchange guidelines, as well as they have to comply with the DRHP guidelines, what being filed, that okay, why you want to float the issue, and when the issue is floated, you generated the money, and after generating money, money is properly utilized or not. So this was the theory behind the SME exchange, and I'll tell you the real benefits. What are the benefit of getting listed is, like I told you, one industry which is very wonderfully working. It may be like your client in Chandigarh. They are working somewhere in Mohali industrial area. They have some auto ancillary kind of thing where
Yeah.
they are auto ancillary to some big automobile manufacturer. They are making some parts. Now that auto ancillary remains an auto ancillary whole life. If it is attached to one company like Hero Honda or JBM Auto or Ashok Leyland, it remain attached to them and they don't have any other things. But along with this, in the balance sheet, other than the financial figure, there is one invisible figure that is goodwill.
Yeah.
Working with 20 years of loyalty, honesty, and good production measures, efficiency measures, they have created a goodwill in industry. How that goodwill is to be measured? So listing gives you the real measurement of the goodwill, what you have created in your business since last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So when you got listed, you get a fair value of your equity. that you consider that my company is of 100 crore कि आज अभी इसको बेचता हूँ तो 100 crore आ जाएगा, and listed market is the best market to judge your words कि अभी 100 crore आएगा या 60 crore आएगा या 160 crore आएगा. So that becomes a judgment that yes, where do my value belongs to. Second benefit is your shares got pledgeable shares. तो वर्किंग कैपिटल में बहुत बार होता है कलेक्ट्रल हमारे पास क्लाइंट के पास नहीं होता है, तो वी से गेट लिस्टेड, जनरेट कलेक्ट्रल, and just by pledging your shares you can get working capital very easily. Third thing, when you are in the listed ferry free, you are rated by those companies, like a company is coming into India, a foreign investor is coming in India, they want to invest in some furniture maker. Okay, so they just say which are top 10 furniture makers in India. Now to identify that top 10 means how to identify turnover wise or profit wise or product wise or brand wise, automation wise, efficiency wise, how. So mixture of all this thing is stock exchange. So his advisor like Mr. Lamba or as a Yogesh Birla will just browse on the stock exchange which are listed furniture companies. So this is the benefit of listing, that you becomes a player, you becomes a placemaker in those lists, that yes, I do exist in this business segment at so and so number in India. Like there may be 20 listed companies. Based on those 19-20 parameters and the ratio analysis, we can really vouch for the right company, that you are at number 5th efficient company, you are number 11th efficient company, and we can reply to those funding agencies, yes, this is a good company. So listing gives you transparency and listing gives you status. It is just like in layman's language, we can say there are maybe 110 million civilians in Chandigarh, and out of that, how many are members of Chandigarh Club? Okay, so maybe 5,000. So when a person is a member of Chandigarh Club Limited, they say, "Oh, I'm member of Chandigarh Club." Means out of 110 million, now he is one out of 5,000. So just to identify a real person, you have to identify certain parameters. On that parameter, you are identifying a person. So when I say that SME listing means right now maybe 3,000 companies are listed, so you become one out of 3,000, and in that 3,000 companies there may be 20 different segments. So you are one out of those 300 to 400 companies. So that gives a good recognition. Third thing is you get a nice working capital, interest-free capital. Right now, you are paying interest to the bank on your capital funding. At the same time, you are getting equity free of interest. So it increases uh, value of your business and gives you smoothness in working without having more leveraging risks. So these are a few answers to your question, Lamaji.
Sir, one problem the SME is facing in raising capital to this SME IPO, the cost of raising of capital is very high. Because if I want to raise only 20 crore or 10 crore from this SME IPO, and for that I have to spend near about 1 crore or 75 lakhs, or you can say 80 lakh. The cost of raising capital is high. That's why these kinds of SMEs are not coming to these IPOs.
How we measure cost, that is again one big debatable issue. That as a chartered accountant, we are just measuring a cost. That 1 crore लगता है, मान लीजिए 20 crore पे 1 crore लगा आपका, ठीक है. So percentage wise, if we say that 5% is the cost of raising funds,
Yeah.
I don't calculate it that way. For me, it is too cheap. Why it is cheap is it is just not 5% of raising the funds. It is not 5% just for the listing fare free. I say that आज की डेट में एक मुंबई में अगर आपको मुंबई क्लब का मेंबर बनना हो, 2.5 crore is the fee to be a club member, and to become a listed company, if total expense is 1 crore, it is too cheap in the layman's language. But at the same time, I am getting an interest free capital of 20 crore. Is it right? So what is the normal rate of interest if I consider that is around 8% at the bare minimum MSME level? So if 8% is my annual interest expenditure on 20 crores, like 1.60 crore is my annual interest payment, and I am getting permanent interest-free capital in 1 crore. So how much I am saving? If I consider 10 years, so instead of paying 16 crores, and in cumulatively, instead of paying 22 crores interest in 10 years, I am just paying 1 crore one time. And is it costly?
नहीं, एक बार लगता है शुरू में उसको समझाने में
बस
और
ये
कन्विंस करने में।
यही सबसे बड़ा अपने पूरे इस लेक्चर का मैकेनिज्म यही है कि एज ए सीए एक बार अपने को लगेगा और एज ए क्लाइंट एक बार लगेगा, बट अपने को उसी वे में उसको समझाना पड़ेगा कि इफ यू हैव अ विजन फॉर 10 years और 20 years, देन ओनली यू शुड कम देयर. इफ यू जस्ट हैव अ विजन ऑफ वन टाइम थिंकिंग कि एक बार का मेरा कॉस्ट क्या है, मैं फ्यूचर का बेनिफिट नहीं देखता, दिस शोज द नेगेटिव इंटेंशन ऑफ द पर्सन दैट ही जस्ट नीड टू गेट लिस्टेड, बट ही इज नॉट गोइंग टू डिलीवर द थिंग्स. इफ दिस काइंड ऑफ promoters are coming to my office, I frankly say, and I openly say them that your intention is negative in all other aspects and positive only on one thing, that I am trying to get listed. Okay, I say that if you are ready to deliver the numbers, if you are ready to foresee the market cap you are going to generate, this entry cost is nothing. And even on the figures, I say this entry cost is less than 1 year's interest cost on your fund. If 20 crore what you are generating and 1 crore is the fee, annual interest is 1.6 crore. You are not paying even 6 months interest to me. Not to me, means to the expenditure side, all other expenditure included. So it's not costly at all. This is just a myth, and we CA brothers have to take this move forward kind of thing, that we should clarify that it is not a cost. This is an add-on booming thing. Maybe tomorrow SEBI is getting much tighter and much stronger for SME listing. You must have seen in last months that SEBI chairperson, they said
Yeah.
that we are going to tighten the SMEs. So this golden chance will be, evaporated very soon.
एक चीज और सर जो मैं अपनी प्रैक्टिस में फेस कर रहा हूँ वो ये है कि जैसे एसएमई प्यूरली जाते हैं तो एसएमई अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड हैं, वो कुछ अकाउंटेड मनी है उनकी, कुछ अनअकाउंटेड ट्रांजेक्शन्स हैं, इसलिए वो इन्वेस्टर का फेथ नहीं बना पाते। सपोज मेरी एक छोटी ही फार्मा फैक्ट्री है जिसकी कुछ ट्रांजेक्शन्स अकाउंटेड हैं, कुछ अनअकाउंटेड हैं, तो जो इन्वेस्टर उसमें इन्वेस्ट करेगा उसका सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन ये रहता है कि कितनी ट्रांजेक्शन अकाउंट फॉर हो रही है एसएमई आईपीओ में, इसकी वजह से भी ये ज्यादा
You're from
सक्सेस नहीं
Chandigarh,
पा
na?
रहे। या हाँ जी, हाँ,
You're
वी
from
आर इन
Chandigarh, na?
चंडीगढ़, नियर टू
Okay.
बद्दी।
ओके, तो आपके बद्दी में हमने काफी काम किया है, काफी सारी यूनिट्स बद्दी की जो आती, जो दिस फार्मास्यूटिकल्स एंड फॉर्मुलेशन यूनिट्स एंड एग्जामिशन यूनिट्स, दे आर ऑन दिस थिंग। देन मोहाली, चंडीगढ़ के पास एक जगह है मोहाली, काफी बड़ा
या
इंडस्ट्री एरिया है वहाँ भी, तो वहां से भी काफी सारे क्लाइंट्स हमारे
माय
पास
ऑफिस
आए
इन
हैं।
मोहाली सर।
अच्छा, योर ऑफिस इन मोहाली, ओके ओके। So Chandigarh Sector 17 and those places, my counterparts are there. So this para banking or parallel economy on the official platform, definitely we don't have any answer to be recorded that how to address this thing or what are the mechanism. But yes, when
नहीं नहीं, माय
pond is
क्वेश्चन इज कि हाउ वी गाइड आवर क्लाइंट फॉर दिस वैल्यू अनलॉकिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी टू मेक मोर मोर एंड मोर ट्रांजैक्शन अकाउंटेड इन द बुक्स so
yes,
that they
guide.
can win the trust of the customers.
Very true, very true. Guiding to them is like, vouching with their mentality, basically, vision. Again, vision I come.
Yeah.
That we have to convince them or their next generation that if you see other compliant economies, whether it is Germany, it is USA, or it is anywhere, any compliant industry, until unless you are compliant on the documents, you cannot grow beyond a boundary. And breaking all the boundaries means documentary, you should be very strong. Like I told you, someone says my sale is 100 crore, but actually it is 500 crore. And we got his company listed. After listing, also, he remained that way only. Okay. At one fine morning, after 3 years of the listing, he came one day very, sick kind of voice. Sir, I was losing on one parameter. What happened? You told me, but I couldn't recognize. Like today, my market capitalization is around 800 crore on the sale of 160 crores. So it is 5 times to my top line. If I would have, honored your advice on my sale of 500 crore, my market capitalization would have been 2500 crore, right? So after diluting, still he is holding 60% of the equity. So on the 800 crore of market capitalization, he is just owner of 480 crore. And if he would have kept everything in white, everything documented, every invoice to be recorded in GST, his market capitalization on 2500 crore or at 60%, he would have been an owner of 1500 crore. So it's not that way that they don't get realized. They don't realize it. They don't consider it. But the only thing is, it's a continuous hammering kind of thing. We generally do one thing that we guide a client. He say, "Oh no, I'm not comfortable." We forget it. But in my habit, I keep on hammering them continuously. I keep on sending them good, project plans everywhere. Okay? There are two options: you remain compliant or you remain non-compliant. You remain compliant means everything is documented. Okay, there is nothing other than white. There is no blackboard in that thing, and these are the benefits. And these are not. I don't say that it is our prime duty, but as a professional advisor, we should keep on doing it. And in my track record, what you say is that out of 100, 70, 65 or 70 clients, after continuous hammering, accepted this thing. And I don't see a bigger ratio than this, that more than 50% maturity of the things generally doesn't happen. So if I am sitting at 65 or 70%, I am 50% above maturity level. So it happens. We have to keep them guiding. Yes, they feel this is a cost. Tax is a cost for them. As you told that on a 20 crore of SME IPO, 1 crore is a cost. And for me, because I'm sitting with a balance sheet, composite balance sheet of next 5 years, for me, that is not a cost. For me, that is just buying a jackpot ticket. So I have to buy a ticket to get a lottery. So we have to make them understand that way only.
सर जैसे पीछे काफी समय में काफी कंपनीज एसएमई आईपीओ लाए, जैसे आपने भी बताया कि नंबर 3000 पे पहुंच गया है, लेकिन ऐसी भी कुछ कंपनी सही है जिनका मतलब इशू सब्सक्राइब ही नहीं हो पाया।
देखो बॉस, जब तालाब में बैठे हैं तो अच्छी मछलियों के साथ कुछ खराब मछलियां भी होती है। तो दो ऑप्शन होते हैं कि या तो हम तालाब को बंद कर दें तो सारी मछलियां मर जाए,
जी
या ऐसी कुछ खराब मछलियों का होना बहुत जरूरी है। क्योंकि कुछ खराब मछलियां होगी, उन्हीं को तो उनकी तड़फ देख के, उनकी हालत देख के अच्छी मछलियां और अच्छा बनने की कोशिश करेगी। So many SME issues got failed. They couldn't generate funds. They couldn't get the minimum required amount, and in turn, they have to call back. There is no other option. So what I always say is work with quality, not with quantity. Those were the advisors or those were the merchant bankers who were just playing on number game. That this year I have to match your 50 issues. This year I have to come up with 100 issues. The number game never brings quality. I never proudly say that I got so many companies listed, but because the listing is just a part of the process for me. For me, the business strategic process is most important. Value unlocking process is most important. And listing is just one of the exit gate out of that. There are other gates also available. Why should I always be worried on the listing side? So I never consider this that कुछ कंपनियां फेल हो रही है इसका मतलब है बाकी कोई पास हो ही नहीं रहा है. So still the success rate in the SME exchange is much higher than what is the success rate in our CA examination.
या एक क्वेश्चन सर आया है किसी व्यूअर का, वेदर नॉन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी आल्सो लिस्ट ऑन एसएमई एक्सचेंज।
There are certain
आई थिंक ही इज
guidelines.
टॉकिंग अबाउट ट्रेडिंग कंपनीज।
Yeah. There are certain guidelines where you don't need to be a manufacturing company as a law. You can be a service providing company, right? But the SME exchange concept is adding value is must. It should not be like that someone is buying salt from somewhere and selling salt to somewhere. Okay, he's just doing a book building. that he's buying salt and he's selling salt. He's not adding any value. So what SME exchange and what Indian economies need is you should be a value adder. There should be a value addition business kind of thing to get listed.
In nutshell, we can say that pure traders are not permitted. But
No,
if you are adding some value to the product,
no, I would
you
not
can-
say that way. I would not say pure traders. You can be a trader of services also. So when I say pure traders means I am eliminating all kind of trading. I would just say that positively, instead of saying this is not allowed, I would say that any value addition kind of business is allowed.
Okay. One more questions are here. How to get new startup clients at the start of your practicing journey?
It's a very interesting, and I have taken more than 180 public speeches on this thing because I have delivered more than 900 speeches in various different platforms from IITs to ICIs, ICSI. Generally, this kind of questions being asked by my professional brother, and I reach back to my journey 25 years back when I started trying to get clients. See, it's very difficult to make a place in the world when you take birth. So, who helps you? By birth, you get surname by the family. You get name of your father, name of your mother, some family background, goodwill, and everything. The same theory is with us that after taking birth in ICI, means after becoming a chartered accountant, you have a minimum requirement of presenting yourself in the society, prefixing CA. Like if I'm Yogesh Birla, I can proudly say CA Yogesh Birla. Means I am those 2% of the civilians, or may not be even two. I'm those minute percentage of civilians who are CA. So first recognition is I am different than others in betterment way. Then is we should always be big ears and big hands. What it means is we should always keep on capturing knowledge. We should always keep on listening, viewing and capturing knowledge. Capture करते रहो. अपने को एक स्कैनिंग मशीन होना पड़ेगा चालू होने के लिए, नए स्टार्टअप क्लाइंट, नए एमएसएमई क्लाइंट या किसी भी क्लाइंट को कैप्चर करने के लिए अपने को स्कैनिंग मशीन होना पड़ेगा नॉलेज की. एंड बिग हैंड्स, व्हाई आई से बिग ईयर्स एंड बिग हैंड्स मींस गणेशा बनना पड़ेगा. गणेश जी के कान बड़े 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 होते हैं कान उनके. तो बड़े कान मतलब जो भी मिले उसको सुनो, उसको फिल्टर करो और फिर अपनी रैम में पहुंचाओ. सो योर रैम शुड गेट स्ट्रॉन्गर. एंड बिग हैंड्स मींस कोई भी तरीके का काम बिना रेम्यूनरेशन की एश्योरेंस और एक्सपेक्टेशन के अपने को करना चाहिए मतलब जो मैंने स्टार्टिंग में कहा था आपको कि विदाउट एक्सपेक्टिंग एनी फीस that okay, I am just a ITR filing advisor to my client. Why should I guide on business policies? Why should I guide on expansion? Why should I guide on making income plan? So सबसे पहले दिमाग से ये theory हटा दो. Definitely you ride a mile extra and you get $1 extra. This is a very simple theory that how to get new clients means other CAs or other professionals, if they are not doing and if you are doing this thing, definitely आज नहीं तो कल client will onboard you definitely. And secondly, keep on sending any queries you have. I always remain open, Lama ji. So I always remain open for my professional brothers कि कभी भी कोई प्रॉब्लम में फंस जाओ, कभी भी कोई एडवाइजरी या कंफ्यूजन में फंस जाओ, फटाक से मुझे एक मेल कर दो. So I'll be happy to answer you. And that sometimes it becomes a backbone for us when there is no one else to guide and he get a guidance from me. So I'm always open. At the end, if you love, you can just share my email ID. So that will help many.
One more question from one participant. He or she wants to know MSME benefit in details because as Sir said, it is the root of the tree.
I told you MSME benefits in first 15 minutes of the show uh, that MSME benefits and the scope of advisory. I'll try to repeat in a very fast way. that there are certain duty, levy, tax, subsidy waivers. We should keep on guiding that. For that, you have to go to the MSME Act and websites. Then second is collateral-free bank loans. Third is reserved procurement policy. We can guide to our client that these are the reserved item you can supply to this company. Fourth is EMD waiver benefits. Many tender we have EMD waiver available to MSME. We should guide. Then is government tender benefits. We have 15% kind of price preference. Even if you are not L1, but you are within 15% ferry free, you will become the supplier or you can get the order. Then we have delay payment protection 45 days wala that is available. Then we have many subsidies available to participate in the international trade fairs. International trade fairs. We have even airfare or the hotel tariff can also be subsidized by many schemes of the government. Then we have a patent registration subsidy that if you have some patents, you get them registered and you can get subsidy up to the 50%. Then we have barcode registration subsidy. These are very small things, but for creating value, for creating a place in the client's heart and mind, these things work well. Then is ISO certification subsidy. These are benefits available. Then NSIC performance and credit rating subsidy. So these are some things I could jot down, but this is not an exhaustive list. You can study those online or by the MSME Act. There are so many subsidies and the benefits available, which brings a bigger scope of advisory for you.
एक और क्वेश्चन है सर, इज इक्विटी लिस्टिंग वन मेथड टू अनलॉक द वैल्यू ऑफ बिजनेस फॉर एमएसएमई?
Yes, of course it is. But just by listing, you are not going to unlock the value. Before listing, you have to make the business prepared with that environment, that atmosphere that you are going to public. Like I'm making a public speech today. I don't know how many viewers are there, either a 10 or a 10,000. But I have to remain confident on my side that I am prepared with my 25 years of experience that I can answer any good question within this framework. The same thing with the listing. Listing is not the only way or not the last way. But before listing, you have to do that complete homework, what I have guided in last 1 hour and 30 minutes. That complete homework, if it is done, listing will be the fantastic unlocking way.
One more question is, sir, one of the criteria of SME IPO is post-issue capital should be at least 25 crore. So how to calculate this 25 crore?
It is not should be, it is up to.
Up to.
Yes.
Yes.
So this gives the whole answer.
What includes in capital, sir?
It is in capital and share premium.
It's include premium or not? I want to know that.
No, it doesn't include share premium while calculating the eligibility. But after getting listed, it includes the share premium generated through IPO.
Okay.
Yes.
So if the basic capital I raise 10 crore and 15 crore is premium amount, I met the criteria.
That becomes a reserve and surplus, na? Equity plus reserve and surplus.
No, how to calculate this 25 crore? For calculating that 25 crore, 15 crore is added or not?
Share premium you generated, that is part of reserve and surplus.
Yeah.
Right. So the formula is equity capital plus reserve and surplus. Okay. So 10 plus 15 becomes 25.
Okay. And एक और क्वेश्चन है हल कि मैक्सिमम एसएमई आईपीओ साइज कितना हो सकता है?
सी मैक्सिमम का कोई एसएमई आईपीओ साइज का लिमिट एज सच प्रिस्क्राइब नहीं किया गया है. The prescribed limit is based on the equity capital. You should be a company which is lower than 25 crore of market capitalization. So while raising the IPO, you can be a 200 crore company. That's not an issue.
सर ऐसा एक क्वेश्चन है मेरे साइड से कि स्टार्टअप्स में आपको पता है कि प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी और एलएलपी को ही इनकॉर्पोरेट किया जाता है. लेकिन हमारे स्टार्टअप सारे एसएमई भी हैं,
राइट,
माइक्रो और स्मॉल भी हैं. तो जैसे ही वो ये एसएमई आईपीओ के लिए प्लान करेगा, वो स्टार्टअप के दायरे से बाहर हो जाता है और स्टार्टअप के सारे बेनिफिट खो देता है. तो सरकार इसके बारे में क्यों नहीं सोचती? एक तरफ तो वो स्टार्टअप को प्रमोट कर रही है, दूसरी तरफ हम स्टार्टअप को कैपिटल दे नहीं रहे प्राइवेट इक्विटी के अलावा.
So this issue we already raised since last 2 years. I keep on raising the issue with the government. You very rightly pointed out that startup India registry, they are registering the startups. Okay.
Yeah.
In turn, they become eligible to get all the subsidies, waivers, the subvention schemes, and many things what a startup is getting. And once they try to become a listed February, they lose all those things. So at the same time, we have suggested to government that along with the benefits, which is not contravention to the listing. Okay, after listing, those benefits should not get doubled, like which are not in contravention to the listing. They should keep on enjoying those benefits. Otherwise, they are getting discouraged for the listing.
Yeah.
Any startup where they say, oh, if we get listed, we are going to lose this thing. So they becomes daily they keep on making P&L, that what we are going to lose, what we are going to get, what we are going to get, what we are going to lose. So that becomes a mimicry. It doesn't become a business show. So we suggested them. I don't know. I'm hopeful that very soon they will listen to it, and they will give an redressing mechanism.
I think, sir, I have taken all the questions from the viewer. Any further question, if will come, I will further take up. So with these words, it is time to conclude the session.
Thank you.
So thank you for sparing your valuable time for the betterment of the profession. I definitely hope that all of our viewers will enlighten or learn something new from your wisdom and words. So it is very good program. It is very interactive. At least I get something new from you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
So over to you, Team MSME Committee, for winding up the session.
Thank you so much, Birla sir, for giving an awesome session on this topic. Thank you, Manoj Lama sir. Sir, this said Devang. Actually, my camera is not working off laptop. Hello, you getting my voice, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving
Yes.
your precious time on
Welcome.
this awesome topic.
Welcome.
Thank you, Birla sir.